there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So today we're talking, did Beyonce steal, copy Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance? We're going to talk about it. First and foremost, anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in my description box. So we need to talk to Beyonce, copy Rihanna. We're going to get into it. So happy belated Christmas to you guys again. Happy holidays to all of you guys again. If you were living under a rock yesterday, if you did not watch Netflix yesterday or any sporting events yesterday, the NFL made its big debut, their big splash on Christmas, because they are taking over all of the sports, for all of the holidays, for all of the major events, you guys. And the NBA is not happy because LeBron also plays on Christmas. And usually the NBA has like a slew of 5 Christmas NBA games. And LeBron said after his game, the NFL, I love you, but Christmas is ours. Christmas is the NBA. Oh my gosh, it's just hilarious. But the NFL made their debut yesterday. They had 2 games that aired on Netflix. I think the game's already expired. You can't even rewatch it, which is unusual for a live event on Netflix. You can rewatch the fight. You can rewatch the Love is Blind reunion. You can rewatch the Chris Rock live stand-up show, post the Will Smith slap, and all these things. But this is the only live event that you cannot watch back, you guys. It says expired. So, nonetheless, during the second game, which was the Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans, both games, by the way, were both snooze fest. Were both blowouts. Were both uninteresting and uninspired. So, not sure if this is going to be a thing in the future of NFL on Christmas, but no. NFL on Thanksgiving does it better. But they also incorporated Mariah Carey with her iconic Christmas song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, as a part of the promo. And she even did like a new promo video to commemorate this Christmas event. And then we have, of course, Beyonce, who is the the Beyonce Bowl, Christmas Bowl halftime performer, you guys. And we've got to get into it because there's a lot of backlash. There's a lot of backlash for several reasons. And I want to say this, trigger warning. Trigger warning to the Beehive. Trigger warning to you who love and worship Beyonce above anything else, right? This is not going to be the video for you. This is not going to be the video where we are going to sit down and say Beyonce is the best thing since sliced bread. Beyonce is better than Michael Jackson. Beyonce ate and left no crumbs, and Beyonce did X, Y, and Z. There was no flaws, there was no issues, there was no comparison. She is one of one. This is not the video for you, you guys. It's not. It is not going to be, and I want to say this as well. For those who are going to think, oh, she's being a hater, oh, she's being negative, or she just doesn't like Beyonce, or you're being biased against Beyonce. No. I think I've been to over 10 Beyonce concerts, you guys. So this isn't coming from a place of somebody who hates Beyonce, dislikes Beyonce, has it out for Beyonce. No. It's quite the opposite. I loved Beyonce. I loved her. I preferred her music with Destiny's Child, and I preferred her first 2 solo albums. But I was an actual Beyonce fan because there's no reason for me to be spending the hundreds of dollars on these Beyonce tickets if I wasn't. But the thing is, at some point you realize and you start to see things and pay attention to certain things, and you realize some things are not right. And you realize that you cannot support certain things anymore if something is not in alignment. And that is when I woke up and smelled the roses, you guys. But nonetheless, I'm not here to influence anybody. I am not here to force anybody to agree on anything that I say. We are all entitled to our opinions, but I am not going to follow groupthink and say just because it's Beyonce, it was a fantastic performance when I've seen her do better live in person. Literally front row. I've seen do a lot better than what happened yesterday. So we're going to talk about it. So I also want to say the performance yesterday was not for the Beehive, was not for you Beyonce fans. It wasn't. This was a promo for the album that is no longer on the Billboard charts, which is Cowboy Carter, you guys. This was bait for the Grammy voters because the voting is taking place now up until January 3rd for the Grammy Awards. So this was bait to try to get Beyonce that album of the year that she desperately so wants from the Grammys, you guys. This also was bait as well for an attempt for Beyonce's EGOT campaign as well, because Jay-Z, who is the NFL halftime coordinator, has an Emmy for the Dr. Dre Super Bowl halftime show, and also has an Emmy for Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show. So this also was an attempt to try to get an Emmy off of this as well and get that album of the year, you guys. This had nothing to do with you, the Beehive, you guys. Because here is the thing. Here's the thing. There were several people in my family that were at the house. We were all watching. We were all like, okay, let's be quiet. Let's watch Beyonce. Let's watch this halftime performance. Let's not play any games. Let's not open up any gifts. Let's not do any of that. We are going to blast the big screen TV and we are going to watch this performance. And everybody sat there on mute and was like, I don't know this song. I don't know this song. Why didn't Beyonce perform Crazy in Love? Why did Beyonce perform Single Ladies? Why did Beyonce perform something that the people know? Where is the up-tempo songs? Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, there goes Post Malone. Oh, there goes Shabuzi. Oh, is that Blue Ivy? And then it was dead silence, you guys. It was dead silence. Because here is the thing. Here's the thing, you guys. A lot of people, no matter how much you want to say, oh yeah, Cowboy Carter went number one, nobody knew anything from the album. And you only know Jolene because it's a remake, you guys. Like we gotta keep it a buck. Outside of Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. But even that, even actual people didn't even know that. Right? And it's just like, I get it, Beyonce. I get what the attempt was. But when you think a halftime performance from the person who likes to consider themselves the greatest ever, we need something on up-tempo. If we're all at home and we're enjoying our families and everything else and our loved ones for Christmas and all this and that, and we're sitting through a performance that is pretty monotone for the most part, isn't really high energy, a lot of slow songs, slow to mid-tempo, nothing really up-tempo that's really getting you out of your seat, getting your butts out your seats, and getting you to dance. It's kind of like, it's weird. It's weird, right? Now, if this was just like a regular schmegular Beyonce performance, that's one thing. But if you're making a big debut for the NFL Christmas Day, we need some razzle-dazzle, you guys. And as far as, and I don't mean the pyrotechnics and the thousands of dancers that Beyonce always has for her performances, I mean we need something. You gotta pop out and show people. Where's Crazy in Love? Where's Single Ladies? Where is something that the people know? Because for all intents and purposes, it sounded like the crowd was on the mute challenge as well. It sounded like they perked up when they saw Shabuzi and when they saw Post Malone and when they saw Blue Ivy. But outside of that, where was the energy? Where was the crowd? Where was, Beyonce that I am used to? You're not going to tell me that this performance was better than Beachella, because it wasn't. And you're not going to tell me that this was better than Beyonce's own Super Bowl halftime performance. But this, you guys, was Beyonce's 6th time doing a performance with the NFL. So there were 2 performances that she did when she was with Destiny's Child with the NFL. She did that performance, of course, with Carlos Santana. That's number 3. Then she did the Star Spangled Banner for the NFL. That's number 4. And then she did the halftime performance with Coldplay and Bruno Mars, where she had Formation. And this is the 6th time with the NFL. When? This is the 6th time, you guys. The 6th time that Beyonce has done something with the NFL. Performance-wise. Like I said, twice with Destiny's Child and 4 times as a solo artist. And, it's interesting. The former lead dance captain, Ashley Everett, who you, the Beehive, dragged. Y'all dragged because she was liking messy comments, allegedly, about Beyonce, and also was not anywhere to be found on the Renaissance tour. And y'all dragged Ashley Everett and said Beyonce sees through her. Y'all dragged Ashley Everett because she was promoting Fenty. She was promoting Rihanna's Fenty hair and everything else. And all Fenty this, Fenty that. Y'all were done with Ashley Everett and y'all are back to praising her. Make it make sense. And listen, I love Blue Ivy. I just wish Blue Ivy had the opportunity to be a kid, you guys. I do. I really do. Listen, I get it. She's 12. I'm sure there's a lot of things that she has that she wants to do, that she partakes in. Different sports, different activities, all of the things. But Beyonce, your daughter has to work Christmas as well? Really? She couldn't just enjoy Christmas, be with her family, open presents, watch you, everything else. No. You got to be on stage right here next to me. Like, what? Now, she did a good job considering everything, right? For her to be 12 and all of this pressure that is on her, all of the things that's hyper-focused on her, and that is why, as a kid, especially as a celebrity kid, I just want her to enjoy this all because it goes by fast, you guys. But remember when she first popped out on the Renaissance tour and people were dragging her and saying she was stiff and that she couldn't do these moves and this and that? Like, the internet is cruel. So there's been a long way from that commentary to now people cheering when they see Blue Ivy on stage. But again, I just want her to enjoy being a kid, enjoying her childhood and everything else. And if she becomes, when she becomes 18 and she decides, okay, listen, I want to do this full time, then so be it. But it's just crazy now, again, I just want her to enjoy her youth. That's it, because all this stuff goes by quickly. But nonetheless, we need to get to why you guys are here. What is Anonymous T talking about that Beyonce copied Rihanna? How dare you? How dare you say such things, right? So there was an article, there's been some publications that have come out that are like, some media outlets have noticed, because this is also from a pop media publication as well. It says some media outlets have noticed that Beyonce's 2024 NFL halftime show ripped off Rihanna's iconic I don't think it was 2023. I think it was 2022, actually. But her Super Bowl halftime show. At what point is Beyonce's unoriginal, quote, cultural homages become blatant theft? Is Beyonce taking, quote, inspiration from Rihanna to save her declining career? Now, here's the thing. I wasn't even going to go that hard at dragging Beyonce and coming for Beyonce. I wasn't even going to go that hard. So on the left side of your screens is a screen grab comparison, because that star was from Lady Gaga's. Super Bowl halftime performance. And then we also had, when it was announced that Beyonce was going to be doing the NFL halftime show performance for Christmas, Beyonce took a little inspiration from when Rihanna announced that she was going to be the Super Bowl halftime performer with the football, with the hand in the football. Basically, I mean, it was copied, you guys. like, there's no other better way to term it, right? And so, why are people saying Beyonce copied Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance, right? Well, that is because of a couple of things. That is one, because of the screen grab that you guys see on the right-hand side of your screen with Rihanna, how she came into the Super Bowl halftime performance already coming out in the air and then coming down, and then at the end when she concluded with diamonds and rose up at the end there. And people noticed how the setup of the stage, how a lot of elements of Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance is incorporated into this halftime performance, right? And so people are like, well, Beyonce's been in the air before. Well, actually, Rihanna's been in the air before. And we can argue when. Who was actually in the air first? Rihanna singing Diamonds in the Air is nothing new. She's been doing that. I think since the Good Girl Gone Bad era, she's been doing that. So, nonetheless, it's just interesting. It is just interesting, you guys. The other piece is Rihanna's choreographer, Paris Goebel. Sorry if I'm butchering her name. Paris Goebel. She made a post that in a screen grab of the Beyonce performance and said, "Merry Christmas, grateful to be a part of this for the Queen." And she posted like a 3-minute clip of the performance. And also, there is, I believe, a 12-second video. When I find a link, I'll put it in my description box. There's a 12-second video of all of the elements of Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show that was incorporated into this, especially the iconic transition where, I believe it was the Rude Boy transition, where Rihanna's dancers, they all kind of popped out and, they all came at you kind of in the transition. Well, there's a portion of Beyonce's performance from yesterday that has that same type of transition. And so, nonetheless, that's why people are like, this is eerily familiar. And that's why Rihanna said that she doesn't tell people what she's doing anymore because the ops are watching. And this is why Rihanna has not released an album since 2016, because everybody tries to copy what she does. But you guys swear that Rihanna is boring, that Rihanna has no talent, that Rihanna is a one-hit wonder, and all of these things. Billionaire Rihanna. Rihanna, who has built a $50 billion empire, you guys. And, it's just interesting because I thought Beyonce, the icon, was better than this. Was above trying to replicate what everyone else has already done. This is why people call Michael Jackson the GOAT, because Michael Jackson is one of one. He stands alone. He does his own thing. And it's like people, and then you guys erase Janet Jackson as a performer. And you guys ignore the fact that prior to Beyonce incorporating transitions of other artists in her tours, Janet was the one who did it first, and actually did it first with a Jay-Z song. And then Beyonce just ripped it. just ripped it from all of it. But there are several videos, there's several receipts of Beyonce's quote-unquote inspiration. There's just a blatant Xerox copy of it all. And we've got to talk about it. And here's the thing, like I said, I like Beyonce. But literally, when I saw this performance, I was like, oh my gosh, we just saw this with the Rihanna Super Bowl halftime show a couple of years ago. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. The Beyonce who refuses to ever do a collaboration with Rihanna and thinks Rihanna is beneath her, but stays swagger jacking everything she does. Whether it is her fashion, whether it is, the promotion that she tried to incorporate for Secret, in culmination with this NFL thing, utilizing Rihanna's choreographer for her Super Bowl performance that you guys claimed was boring, even though I believe it has, I think 250 million or almost 260 million or something like that views. It's only third behind the Dr. Dre Super Bowl and the Shakira and J-Lo Super Bowl halftime show as the most watched Super Bowl halftime show ever. And y'all dragged Rihanna, who was pregnant with her second child and was suspended up in the air like that, going up and down with a gut full of baby. People wanted to just hate on it was because Rihanna, but here's the thing. The discography was there. And the thing is, Rihanna can do 2 or 3 more Super Bowls if she wanted to, just based off of her hits alone. The biggest issue that I had with this performance that Beyonce did yesterday wasn't just the fact that it was blatantly, a lot of it was copied off of Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show. But the songs, the discography wasn't there. The music wasn't there. Was the bigger issue. And you had to bring out all these features instead of standing alone. Like I said, where was Crazy in Love? Where was Single Ladies? Where was something that the overall audience would have been familiar with? You can promote Cowboy Carter, who again is not on the Billboard charts right now. And you can promote it to try to get those Grammy Awards and get those Grammy voters to vote for you who did not listen to the album. And you can try to do this as, Emmy bait to try to get yourself that EGOT. But you needed something people were familiar with. And that is where a lot of times the people were just sitting there, okay, like I didn't listen to this album. I didn't listen to the 40 songs that this album had. And I'm not going to after this performance. Make it make sense. But nonetheless, you guys, I wasn't going to go as hard as that article did, calling Beyonce declining career and culture vulture. Listen, just say that you were inspired by Rihanna and just say it. I cannot. But y'all owe Rihanna an apology. Because y'all dragged that Super Bowl performance up and down and through here. Only for everybody to be utilizing it. Literally, there was halftime shows after this that was utilizing Rihanna's Super Bowl performance. And Beyonce's no different. But just acknowledge and pay homage. Don't try to say, oh, I did this myself, like Beyonce did when she said that she wrote Emotions, which is a Bee Gees remake. Like, what? What are you talking about? You wrote the song. The Bee Gees did. The Bee Gees wrote it and recorded it. You just did a remake. Or like when you said you wrote Irreplaceable and Neo had to come out and said, I wrote Irreplaceable. I'm still waiting on my check. And then he mysteriously got blackballed for exposing the truth. Like I said, I want Beyonce to succeed. I just don't like the underhanded tactics that Beyonce has done over the decades to get herself to a certain level of success. And then when she gets there, wants to act like she came up with all of this herself. When you're using Rihanna's choreographer, you're using Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance, and you're utilizing all these things that you said that is above you. Make it make sense. And then you rehire the person who was shading you and dragging you the most. That was your beloved Dax Hampton. Was liking messy comments about you and how you treat people and your performance and how you're overrated and all these things, and you hire right back when, the people were not feeling some of the components of the Renaissance tour. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew she was going to be right back when it was all said and done. I knew it. And I also noticed some people were missing that was on the Renaissance tour in this performance as well. And apparently, to put it all, to put a bow on it, Beyonce apparently has an announcement that's going to be coming in January. Right in time for tax season per usual, that Beyonce likes to do. She likes to take your money, take your tax refund checks, because she's probably going to be announcing a tour or a Vegas residency, you guys. I mean, shocker, right? There's been no visuals for this album. And, after a year, the success of the album, even though it went #1, like I said, it is currently not on the Billboard charts. So we will see whether or not this performance does anything to change the minds of the people. If people decide to stream any of this or do any of this after this, we'll see, because those numbers will be out right then and there. But nonetheless, to me, this was not the Beyonce I'm used to. This was not the Beyonce that I was used to, and unfortunately for me, it didn't hit the mark. And a lot of it had to do, like I said, with the song selection. Because if your album's not even on the charts, and you're doing this big production and this big performance, and most of the people don't even know what you're singing, it's not a good look. And it makes it forgettable. And they've already announced that there's going to be an exclusive Beyonce performance that's going to eventually be uploaded on Netflix, because remember, Beyonce has a Netflix deal. But even with that, you guys, things are just not making the mark anymore. And I think had Beyonce taken her discography a lot more serious, we'd be having a different conversation. Because even if the performance yesterday was boring, if the songs were there, if the hits were there, this would be a different conversation. And that is why you guys tried to call Rihanna boring and you tried to drag her, but you can't drag her hits. You can't drag the fact that she hasn't had an album in almost 10 years and is out streaming your faves. Michael Jackson, who's no longer here on this earth, has been passed away for how long, is out streaming and outperforming your faves. That is what legacy is, you guys. So I don't care about the theatrics of a performance. If the songs are not there that I cannot sing along to, that I do not want to go into Apple Music and listen to again, then it's a forgettable performance to me. And that's the bottom line. So y'all could have called Rihanna boring and made fun of her being pregnant and all those things. But guess what? She's the third most viewed Super Bowl halftime performance of all time in the history of the NFL. So y'all did all that yapping, and y'all did this. You do this with Beyonce. Y'all overhype everything she does. And then after, 2 to 3 business days, it is poof, we don't hear anything about it again. And then you guys take a step back. You don't listen to her music. You don't stream anything, but y'all argue with people on the internet. Y'all want to drag people and send unalive threats to people if they dare to give any criticism to Beyonce. No. So there's that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.